Hello YouTube, my name is Plazookas, and today's video is going to be on 2024 being the best year in video games since 2023, and then before that, 10 to 20 years ago. I know that all the game journalists hyped up last year, and to be honest, I thought it was one of the best years in video games as well, but I do think that this year, 2024, will just barely surpass it as the best year in video games. This is going to be a 4-part series, going to be breaking down into 3-month cycles: January through March, April through June, July through September, and October through December. At the end of the year, I'll make one last video that'll compile everything together, and then I'll make the case for 2024 being the best year in video games. Before we begin, we need to make some rules very clear. For each of the months that we're going to compare the games to, there's only going to be a maximum of 3 for each month. So for January, it's a maximum of 3. For February, it's a maximum of 3. There can be fewer, but there has to be at least 1 each month. How many games that show up on those months? So for January, if there are 3 games for January 2023, there have to be the same amount of games for January 2024. And so on for February, if there's 3 games, there has to be 3 games for February 2024. And then for March, if there's 2 games for 2023 in March, then there has to be 2 games for March 2024. There is also another caveat. The games that I choose have to be at the top of the Metacritic standings. If there are games that are available that are highly acclaimed, then yes, most likely they will appear on this list, unless there's a cutoff, because we're cutting off at 3 maximum. And if any month is more than that, then we'll have to make a choice on the highest ones. I think I've been very fair with the list that I've made for January through March, but I'll have you be the deciding factor on that. So without further ado, now let us showcase the list. Hi-Fi Rush versus Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Hi-Fi Rush received praise for its unique rhythm-based gameplay and vibrant visuals. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown revived the classic series with modern visuals and gameplay innovations, attracting both old fans and newcomers. Fire Emblem Engage versus Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. Fire Emblem Engage was lauded for its deep strategy mechanics and character interactions. Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth built on the success of the Yakuza series formula and delivered deep storytelling and engaging combat. Dead Space Remake versus Tekken 8. Dead Space Remake impressed with its updated graphics and faithful recreation of the horror experience. Tekken 8 continued a beloved fighting series and pushed the boundaries of graphics and gameplay mechanics in the genre. Hogwarts Legacy versus Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hogwarts Legacy offered a rich open-world experience that Harry Potter fans had long awaited. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth built on the success of its predecessors with a deeper dive into the Final Fantasy VII universe. Metroid Prime Remastered versus Helldivers 2. Metroid Prime Remastered provided a much appreciated refresh of a classic, bringing it to a new generation. Helldivers 2 expanded upon its predecessor's challenging cooperative play, offering more depth and an expanded universe. Octopath Traveler 2 versus Persona 3 Reload. Octopath Traveler 2 continued the success of its predecessors with its unique visual style and engaging storylines. Persona 3 Reload brought a cult classic back with updated graphics and mechanics, reaching new heights in a wider audience than the original. Resident Evil 4 Remake versus Dragon's Dogma 2. Resident Evil 4 updated a beloved classic with modern mechanics and visuals. Dragon's Dogma 2 expanded upon its original open world and deep RPG mechanics, and it appealed to fantasy fans and RPG fans. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania versus Unicorn Overload. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania was a successful crossover, blending 2 beloved franchises effectively. Unicorn Overload introduced us to a new IP with the potential for innovative gameplay and storytelling in the future. And that is my January to March list of 2023-2024 games. Who will win? Who will lose? Wait for part 2 of 4 in the middle of June. Until then, my name is Plazookas. If you like this content, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.